Hi everybody, welcome in. Welcome to those who are just joining for the first time and for those who have joined me before. This is my first YouTube live stream and I wanted to do something special. I wanted to crochet with y'all. So if y'all have any questions along the way, please stop me and ask any questions you have. Today we're going to be crocheting a sugar cookie heart. I'm gonna divide this up into parts. So this is part one. So my tools are, I have a pink yarn. This is actually the Woobles Easy Peasy yarn. I have a 4.5mm crochet hook, and then also a marker. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. This pattern is a no magic ring. I know magic rings can be extremely difficult, especially for beginners and even for, advanced crocheters. So this whole pattern is very beginner friendly, and it's no magic circle. So in this live, for part one, we are just going to be doing the icing color. So whatever color you want, you can make it super crazy and out there. You can go blue, green, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to go ahead and just go with the light pink. So to begin, we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to single crochet and increase in the second chain from the hook. So we're going to chain 2. Okay, there's my chain 2, and then we are going to make an increase or 2 single crochets in the second chain from the hook. Okay. So after that, I'm going to go ahead and put in my stitch marker. If I know where I left it. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and just do my stitch marker. Okay. So there we go. So that is going to be our row 1. So in row 2 now, we're going to be chaining 1 and then turn, and then we are going to increase into the next 2 stitches. Okay, so there's my chain, and then we're going to turn. Oops, sorry. We're going to turn. And then we're going to increase into these 2 stitches. Oh, I apologize. I just did 1 single crochet. So, sorry about that. I had to redo that. Okay, so I'm going back and I'm doing the increase now. Okay, so there's my second row now. So now I'm going to go ahead and just move my stitch marker. Okay. Okay, so now we are on row 3 now. So we are going to chain 1 and rotate again. So we are going to increase, okay, so we are going to increase and then 2 single crochets. Okay, and then we're going to finish off this row with an increase. Okay, so this is how it should be looking. You kind of have a little triangle going. And then we're going to go ahead and just put our stitch marker into that loop. Okay, so that is now our row 3. Okay, so row 4 is going to be chain 1 and turn, and increase, 4 single crochet, and then another increase. Okay, and then that is our row 4. So we're going to move our stitch marker. Okay, so here is where we are at right now. It kind of looks like an off triangle a little bit. Okay, so row 5 now, we are going to chain 1 and turn, increase, 6 single crochet, and then another increase. Okay, so that finishes off our row 5. So again, it's looking kind of like a funky triangle there. So we're going to move our stitch marker. Alrighty, so this down here is actually the bottom of our heart. So later on, we're going to kind of go around the heart and we're going to fix, you know, anywhere where it's like lopsided, we're going to fix. Okay, so we just finished row 5. Okay, now we're going to go on to row 6. And row 6 is a chain 1 and turn, increase, 8 single crochet, and 1 more increase. Okay, and that is the end of our row 6. So we're going to move our stitch marker again. Okay, so it looks kind of like a funky triangle, but this is the bottom of the heart. So now we're going to go on to row 7. Okay, so row 7 is a chain 1 and turn, and then 12 single crochet. Okay, and that's our row 7. We're going to move our stitch marker. Okay, so that's our row 7. So again, this is going to be the bottom of our heart. And when we go along the outer edge, after we're done making the full heart, all of this is going to even out. Okay, so we just finished row 7, so we're going to go to row 8. Row 8 is going to be the exact same. It's a chain 1 and turn, and then single crochet 12. Yeah, single crochet 12. Okay, that is the end of our row 8. And then we are going to move our stitch marker over here. Okay, so here's how it's looking so far. Still a little wonky, but that's okay. We're going to even it out once we get done with the top part. Okay, so we're going to start row 9 now. Okay, so row 9 is going to be the exact same as row 8. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and then single crochet 12. Okay, and that is our row 9. So now we're going to move our stitch marker back to over here. Okay, and then we're going to start row 10. Row 10 is the exact same. It's chain 1, turn, 12 single, and then 12 single crochet. Okay, and that's the end of our row 10. So we're going to move our stitch marker back to over here. Okay, so that is our row 10. So again, this is going to be the bottom of the heart, and I know it looks kind of wonky, kind of not super straight, but that's okay because we're going to go in with the little bumps up here, and then we're going to go over the entire heart again. Okay. Okay, so that was row 10. Okay, sorry, my pattern was all out of order. Okay, so that was row 10. Okay, so we're going to move on to row 11 now. Okay, so row 11 is a chain 1 and turn, 1 half double crochet, 2 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 triple crochet into the next stitch. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just take this part by part because this part is a little confusing. Okay, so we are, oops, let me get that out of the way. Okay, so we're chaining 1 and turning. We're going to make a half double crochet into this next stitch. So a half double crochet, oops, if I can get it to cooperate with me. So this is actually going to be the top part of our heart. So you want to make you're making the little bumps up here. Okay, and then we are doing a, let's see. Okay, and then we're going to be doing 2 double crochets into this next stitch right here. Sorry about that. Sometimes trying to do the double crochets are a little difficult. Let's try that again. Okay, so let's see. There we go, now we got it. Okay, so that is now our 2 double crochets. So again, and starting at the beginning of the row, we had chain 1 and turn. Into the next stitch, we had a half double crochet. Oops, there we go. We had a half double crochet, and then in the next stitch we had 2 double crochet. So now in this next stitch right here, we're going to be doing 2 see, I believe that is triple crochet, so that's going to be in this next stitch. So again, these are the top, this is going to be the top part of the heart now. Okay. So it's starting to come together now. Okay. So in the next one, so now in this next stitch, we are going to do 2 double crochets into the next stitch. Oops. Okay. Okay, so there's how it's kind of looking. I know it looks a little funky right now, but again, in a little while, we're going to go along the outline, the edges of our heart. Okay, so now we are going to do a half double crochet in the next stitch, and then a slip stitch. And then that'll be one of our, one of the bumps in the heart. Oops, okay. Okay, and then we are going to be doing a slip stitch into the next 2 crochets, or sorry, 2 stitches. Okay, so here's how our heart is looking so far. Ooh. Okay, so there is part of the one of the bumps on the heart. So we're going to be doing the same thing for the other side. Let's see. Okay, so now we are going to be doing a half double crochet into the next stitch. Okay, and then we are going to be doing 2 double crochets into this stitch. Okay. And then in the next one, we are going to be doing 2 triple crochets in this next stitch. Okay, so here's how it's looking so far. Okay, and then we're going to be doing a double crochet, 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Okay, so here's how it's looking so far. And then in the next stitch, we are going to be doing a half double crochet. Okay, so here's how it is looking so far. Okay, so now we're not going to be turning anymore. We're going to be working along the sides of the heart to really just kind of straighten out, you know, all of this, all the rough edges. Okay, so here's how it's looking so far. So we're going to be doing single crochet all the way down the side of the heart. Okay, so again, we're just doing single crochet all the way down the edge of the heart right here. Okay, and then once we get to the bottom of the heart, we are going to be making an increase. Okay, so as you can see, this side of the heart is already like a lot smoother than this side. So that's our goal with doing some single crochet around the hearts. Okay, so now we're going to continue with the single crochet, and we're going to be crocheting along the edge of this heart now. So, and just a little tip for using your stitch marker. So this stitch marker actually started the round whenever I started doing the bumps on the hearts. So, you know, an easier way to look at the single crochet is you're going to crochet up until you hit that stitch marker, because that's where the row started for the bumps on the heart. Okay, so here's how it's looking so far. You can see that, you know, it really evened out the sides of the heart there. Okay, so okay, so now we're going to finish off. So we have one more row to go. So this is the icing for the hearts. So we have one more row to go for the icing. So we are going to single crochet into the next 2 stitches. And we can go ahead and take out the stitch marker now that we know where we're at. Okay, so that was 2 single crochet. We're going to increase in the next 4 stitches. Okay, and then we are going to single crochet into the next 2 stitches. Okay, and then we are going to increase in the next 4 stitches. Oh wait, I apologize. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. That's to go through the rest of the heart. I apologize. I forgot that there's one more single crochet. Actually, sorry, 2 more single crochet and then a slip stitch. Single crochet and then then a slip stitch. There we go. Okay, so here's how it's looking so far. Okay, and then we're going to two single crochet again. Whoops. Sorry about that. Okay. Sorry, I almost lost my loop there for a second. Okay, there we go. Sorry, give me just a second. I almost lost my loop there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here's how the side's looking. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I did that. Okay, let me do this. Okay, so yeah, let me do the slip stitch one more time, and then we'll go on to this side of the heart. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we have this. So now we're going to do 2. Let me see. Yeah, okay, so now we're going to do 2 more single crochet into these stitches right here. Okay, so here's how it's looking so far. Okay, and then we are going to increase in the next 4 stitches. Okay, and then we are going to single crochet into this next stitch. Okay, so this is how our heart is turning out. Okay, so if you want to, you can continue on, or I'm actually going to cut my yarn and then just sew it onto the actual cookie part. But this is the final version for the icing for our our heart sugar cookie. Tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and stop here for now. This is the part 1, the icing. If you want to decorate your icing, you could put little sprinkles, you could put little icing squiggles, whatever you want to do. Actually, on one of my other cookies, I actually used acrylic paint, and I just kind of went through my cookie and added some little sprinkles to it. But tomorrow I will be getting on for part 2, which is actually the tan yarn, the sugar cookie part. So if y'all enjoyed this live, please make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. I appreciate every one of y'all for joining me this evening, and I hope y'all have a good rest of your night. Thank you. Bye.